Seattle, Washington, September 30. Robinson Cano. The Mariners won the game 3-1. Photo by Stephen Brashear, Getty Images. Months ago, nobody saw Robinson Cano leaving the Seattle Mariners. Even more surprising is the fact that he now plays for the New York Mets. Cano had one of those seemingly immovable contracts. Because they were able to dump salary for this upcoming season and clear space for 2020 as well, the Mets were happy to take on his contract. Of course, they also landed top closer Edwin Diaz in the same deal. Cano's return to New York is highly anticipated, although some don't expect much. He's now in his mid-30s. After a pet suspension last year for a masking agent, he's on the naughty list from many fans. Or from rising apathy, or as a chance we one day do see Cano land a spot in Cooperstown. His suspension and what may be a sharp decline ahead may ruin those chances. However, as we explore the best and worst case scenarios for Cano during his Mets days, we'll get more into whether or not he finishes well or not. This off-season's edition of Cano is one of the more surprising moves any team made. The Mets looked prepared to begin the year with Jeff McNeil as the starting second baseman. Instead, he'll slide into something resembling utility man. Everyone expects Cano and his $20 million per year paycheck to start around 162 games. Just because he's on the field doesn't mean the results will be favorable. Men at his age sometimes seem to lose their baseball abilities overnight. Mets fans will have to hope he's not one of them. Instead, they'll need to cross their fingers for the best-case scenario. Page 2 CLEVELAND. April 26. Robinson Cano. The Mariners defeated the Indians 5-4. Photo by Jason Miller, Getty Images. Cano isn't the same player he used to be. However, it's hard to really say he's wasting a roster spot. Last year, even with a suspension that took away half the season, Cano stayed on the field. He played in 80 games for the Mariners and hit .303, .374, .471. To the naked eye, his years in Seattle were nothing like the ones he spent with the New York Yankees. When looking at the slash lines, they are quite comparable. As a member of the Yankees, Cano batted .309, .355, .504. With the Mariners, it dropped to only .296, .353, .472. The move away from Yankee Stadium is the likeliest culprit in the power drop-off. Cano can still hit above or near .300. In the best-case scenario, he does this for the Mets in 2019 and even beyond. I do think around 20 home runs is all he will offer. If there's a good amount of power left in his bat, expect him to turn a few of them into doubles. It was only back in 2016 when Cano hit a career-high 39 home runs. We shouldn't expect him to do this. A year with 20 home runs and 35 doubles would be strong enough. At the projected three-hole hitter, perhaps we also see him drive in 100 runs. Cano could give the Mets lineup a professional, consistent hitter. By placing him third, he should help those around him. We can imagine a variety of players batting second or fourth. Anyone who does could benefit from having Cano batting before or after. Business as usual is the best-case scenario when it comes to Cano's first year with the Mets. If he competes for the team's batting title and drives in a lot of runs, it's a success. Next, worst-case scenario, page 3 SEATTLE, September 27. Robinson Cano. Photo by Abby Parr, Getty Images. Other than injuries, the worst-case scenario for Cano is obviously another suspension. I'm doubtful he'll get caught making the same mistake again. Jenry Mejia is the only one foolish enough to do that. Aside from this, the worst-case scenario for Cano may involve his body finally breaking down. He has been an Ironman through much of his career. Father Time could catch up with him any time now. All of the wear and tear on his body will eventually lead to a lengthy disabled list stint, right? I don't believe this will happen quite yet with Cano. He had plenty of time to rest last year. He should be fresher than ever. Statistically speaking, we could see Cano lose more power. He hasn't been racking up the same number of extra base hits over the past 2 seasons. A move to the American League, and Citi Field specifically, should do damage to his offensive numbers. Cano is in no danger of losing playing time. As salary, the Mets aren't about to bench him for anyone else. He will play through slumps regardless of how long they last. Maybe the most hurtful thing Cano could do is lose his ability to hit for a high batting average. The Mets struggled mightily in this department last season. To add another guy who hits below .250 would be detrimental to the organization's success. The main reason the Mets got Cano was because at his best he gives them something they didn't have much of. This is a roster full of guys hitting below .260. Cano gives them someone they could expect a .300 batting average from. If he really gets hurt by Citi Field and we see him hitting below .275 in his first year, we'll have to question this deal immediately. He doesn't need to be an all-star or earn MVP nods. Cano just has to put the ball in play regularly and get more hits than anyone else on the team. I don't believe he's fully cooked yet. 2 more good years from him is all I'm asking for. Next, 5 keys for a more successful Mets year in 2019. Want your voice heard? Join the Rising Apple team. Write for us. What do you expect from Cano's first year with the Mets?